Guten Tag and warm greetings from the winery Schloss Johannisberg, Rheingau, Germany. My name is Stefan Doktor. I'm the managing director of this beautiful wine estate, where wines has been cultivated for more than 1200 years. I'm very sorry that not everyone can attend in person at the announcement of the world's best vineyards in this year, and hope that all of us will get very soon the possibility for free wine traveling and enjoying the wine estate's hospitalities. I'm sending the best wishes to all wineries, vineyards, winemakers and friends around the world. Stay safe and healthy and have fun and enjoy this evening.
Thank you, Stefan. With people watching all over the world with different time zones, I think it's safest to just say hello and welcome. I'm Andrew Reed from William Reed, who organise and run the world's best vineyards. We're excited to bring you the 2021 edition from the very beautiful Schloss Johannisberg, as we've been generously hosted this year thanks to the kind support of our partners, the Deutsches Wine Institute. They represent not only 13 wine regions of Germany, but much more, and I'm delighted to introduce Stefan Schindler.
An jedem Hügel verbirgt sich eine tolle Lage, ein spannender Wein.
Ich reise um den Erdkugel wegen dem Wein, aber ich kehre immer zurück zu Deutschland.
Trink, was dir Spaß macht und nicht, was andere sagen, was dir schmecken soll.
Wenn man es schafft, im Most schon die Herkunft von einem Wein zu schmecken, dann hat man es geschafft.
Ich will ja, dass es packt. Also Wein muss Gänsehaut erzeugen.
Das Schicksal eines jeden Weines besteht darin, dass er getrunken wird.
Das ist eine unendliche Faszination, weil die Möglichkeiten von diesen Weinen unbegrenzt sind.
We, the German Wine Institute, are delighted to welcome the world's best vineyards to the Rheingau region in Germany. We would like to thank the organizers and the masterminds behind this award for raising awareness for wine tourism worldwide and to Germany, of course. Wine tourism has become a very important economic pillar for many wine estates, and we know the most loyal customers are those who have actually come to our wine estates and to our wine regions in person. Germany is only a smaller wine growing country, but our Rieslings and Spätburgunders certainly belong on every good wine list in the world, and there is a lot more to be discovered once you come to one of our 13 wine growing regions. So please do feel invited to come to Germany and to explore our vineyards for yourselves. There are 2,000 years of wineries history to be discovered. And finally, of course, we would like to congratulate those who made it onto the list of the world's best vineyards.
Thank you, Stefan. Last year we were hosted by Sonoma, where they had been hit by terrible fires. And this year we're here in Germany, where the impact of global warming has been felt by the catastrophic flooding that has swept away much of the Ahr region. We've organised an online auction to help the region, and it's testament to the amazing wine industry that so many have kindly donated some fabulous lots that are being auctioned as I speak to raise much needed funds and try and help the devastated region and its winemakers. The auction closes on Monday, the 20th of September at 2200 hours Central European Time. Please bid now. Wine and tourism share the same roots. Wine is a reflection of the terroir and is embedded in the very culture of its immediate surroundings, which create the incredible landscapes that make people want to come and experience and share. And of course, the wine is the ultimate experience to be shared on a summer's evening, a winter's day, or just a good lunch. It's all about appreciation. The winery appreciates the environment that surrounds it, the customer appreciates the wine that the winery creates, and appreciates the experience of visiting the winery. And their friends then appreciate the stories that they're told when the wine is shared with them. Wine tourism is hugely important, not only to the global economy, but also local economies, with jobs being created directly at wineries, but also increasing the visitors to an area and the associated revenues that will generate. A tourist can come from within the country, as well of course from outside the country, but all become ambassadors for your brand as they love to share their experience. We know that by shining the light on wine tourism, as we do with the world's best vineyards, the message gets out to more people to come and discover the uniqueness of wine and where it's made. Last year, we managed to reach a huge 720 million monthly unique users. The list that you're about to see is not created by some formulaic series of criteria based on specific elements of a visit. It's based on the whole experience. The world's been divided into an academy of 22 regions, each having a highly regarded chairman. They in turn invite 36 internationally renowned wine and/or travel experts who cast their votes for each of the wineries that they have visited and feel is worthy of a nomination. The wineries that are open to the public and receive the most votes are then on the list. So, with no further ado, let's see who's made the top 50 of the world's best vineyards to visit. And post your thoughts, and don't forget to use the hashtag World's Best Vineyards.
Thank you, Andrew. Let's not keep these vineyards in suspense any longer. Welcome to the World's Best Vineyards 2021 Top 50 reveal. At number 50, we have a brand new winery making its way onto the list. Quinta do Infantado. Wine and port lovers can soak up tasting sessions at Quinta do Infantado, covering the theory behind making and aging the wines, before a tasting of 2 Douro wines, 5 ports, and some special historic bottles from the family's private collection. To take things one step further, visit the Quinta during harvest time, and you'll get to join in with picking the grapes before following their journey through the winery and sitting down to enjoy a wine tasting session. Staying in Douro Valley for another new entrant in at number 49, it's Quinta do Velado. One of the Douro's oldest wine estates has been brought seamlessly into the modern world, with 2 boutique hotels offering a riverside idyll steeped in history. Whilst it would be easy to sit back and take in the views, there is plenty to entertain both on land and in water with boat, walking, or jeep tours on offer. Plus cycling, fishing, canoeing, stand-up paddleboarding, cookery classes, picnics, and a spa that uses essential oils from the estate itself. At 48, our third new entrant in a row, Chateau Carner. Snuggled into the Lamartine Valley's ancient pine-covered slopes, in the village of Ras El Haf, Chateau Carner is at the heart of modern Lebanese winemaking. Each and every tour starts in the tasting room, where guests learn the history of Chateau Carner and about the native grape variety, Sobahai, exclusively vinified at this domain. We're making a flying visit to the Santa Cruz Mountains for number 47. Ridge Vineyards, Montebello. High up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, this restored 19th century winery is built into the hillside, and tastings take place on a sunny terrace overlooking the global tech hub of Silicon Valley. You can opt for intimate estate tastings or the Montebello private library tasting to compare current releases alongside older wines from the Ridge catalogue. In at number 46, we have a winery that has featured on every World's Best Vineyards Top 50 list so far, Weingut Dr. Lozen. The famously sheer hills of the Mosel Valley loom over the meandering river below from such an incline that harvesting can only be done by hand. The terrain simply begs for hiking and biking, and you mustn't miss Dr. Lozen's Bremer Kalmont Vineyard, said to be the steepest in the world. The winery itself is perched down on the water's edge and boasts a new guest house. All tastings at Dr. Lozen's are a fully bespoke experience not to be missed. Following on with another winery featuring on all three lists. At 45, Vieux Manent. Like any good hosts, the warm and friendly team at Vieux Manent won't let you leave either hungry or bored with countless tastings, pairings, and activities to take part in. Vieux Manent is also committed to sustainability, supporting the local community, relying on solar panels for its tourist operations, encouraging native flora and fauna alongside the vines, and reducing its carbon footprint wherever possible. The e-bikes, horse-drawn carriages, and walking vineyard tours aren't just scenic, they're practical too. From Colchagua to Constantia. At number 44, Klein Constantia Winery. Close to Cape Town centre, the leafy hills of Constantia offer wine lovers an exquisite trail of estates to meander between. With the majestic Table Mountain range on one side and sea views out over False Bay on the other, Klein Constantia grows Sauvignon Blanc, Semillon, Riesling, and a variety of reds, as well as the famous Muscat de Frontignan. Next up, at number 43 from the Casablanca Valley, Bodegas Rey. Bodegas Rey is the passion project of one of Chile's most revered winemakers, Pablo Morande, and his children. It encapsulates the idea of old meeting new by applying utterly original thinking to established practices and hard-earned knowledge. When visiting, take a walk through the underground cellars before sitting down to an artisanal feast of bread and cheese to accompany the family's wines, liqueurs, olive oils, and balsamic vinegars. Staying in South America, a new entry in at number 42. Super Uco. Planted in concentric circles, the vineyards at Super Uco don't just look spectacular. They allow the grapes to ripen from every angle and reflect nature's decisive lack of straight lines and vertices. For a fully immersive experience, take one of the family-led tours that take you through the vineyards, farm, gardens, and winery, corralling with the animals and tasting wines directly from the barrels. Number 41 on the list, Vina Casas del Bosque. Guests will never leave Casas del Bosque hungry with 3 on-site restaurants, which all serve food created in collaboration between the chef, winemaker, and sommelier. Beau is named after the estate's traditional method sparkling wine, which you can sample alongside tapas on the terrace. The flagship Taino is a gastronome's paradise, with a 4-course tasting option, or the more unorthodox Atravete menu, translating as Dare Yourself. It features pairings designed to surprise and delight. At number 40, we have the first of our 2021 special awards. Due to restricted international travel, we sent our local academy chair to visit and present this award in person. The best vineyard in North America for the 3rd year in a row is Robert Mondavi Winery.
Welcome to the Napa Valley. My name is John McDaniel, U.S. Academy Chair for World's Best Vineyards, and I'm so excited here today to present the best vineyard in North America to one of my favorite estates here in California, Robert Mondavi Winery.
A tasting of the Tocallan Reserve range is a breathtaking experience, with selections personalized to each guest, enjoyed on a patio with views over the Mayacamas Mountains. It is a glorious celebration of a vineyard whose name translates from the Greek as highest beauty. Congratulations to all the Robert Mondavi Winery team for winning this award 3 years running.
Hello, I'm Robin West, and I'm the Visitor Center Manager at Robert Mondavi Winery in California's beautiful Napa Valley. We are honored to be recognized by World's Best Vineyards as the best vineyard in North America. When Robert Mondavi founded the winery in 1966, he wanted to celebrate the good life, where wine, food, and the arts could all come together. Today, we celebrate that vision through a series of private tours, guided wine tastings where we celebrate the highest expression of Napa Valley wines and incomparable culinary experiences. We are so honored to receive this award. We thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
From Napa Valley to the Becar Valley, at 39, Chateau Heritage. At Chateau Heritage, guided tours take you through some of the estate's 64 hectares and then into the winery, where you can witness the family's fusion of traditional techniques and modern technology. Fermentation takes place in open tanks, a difficult method to master, but key to achieving the intensity of Chateau Heritage's wines. The Tuma family are all intent on conveying their fierce passion and enjoyment for what they do to their visitors. For number 38, we are back in the Douro Valley. Quinta do Bonfim. Innovation is king at Quinta do Bonfim. You'll learn about their initiative in the winery and out in the vineyards during one of their winery tours, which all start in the original building's miniature museum, a collection of photographs and documents, providing a snapshot of how the region used to look, before you head out into the vineyards to compare with how things stand today. Finish up with a port and tonic on the sun-filled terrace, with views of the gleaming Douro River in front of the mountainous vineyards all around. From the north of Portugal to the south of Australia, at 37, Penfolds McGill Estate. Although holdings have expanded over time, the core McGill Estate is a single vineyard monopole planted exclusively to Shiraz. Its proximity to Adelaide makes it one of the world's few urban wineries, and guests can look out over the original vineyards from the McGill Kitchen brunch spot or fine dining McGill restaurant. The cellar door is open for a variety of tastings, with a social held on the first Tuesday of every month, guiding guests through a selection of the estate's portfolio, from the estate Shiraz to its brandies. At number 36, we are in France for the first time on the 2021 list. Chateau Mouton Rothschild. As well as the top-notch winery, guests of the Mouton Rothschild can view the artwork that has decorated its bottles since 1945. Pablo Picasso, Salvador Dali, Joan Miro, and Francis Bacon all contributed in the last century, with Lucien Freud, Jeff Koons, David Hockney, Anish Kapoor, and even His Royal Highness Prince Charles producing works in latter years. The dedicated museum space doesn't just exhibit these momentous labels, but the sketches and preliminary works leading up to them, for a privileged glimpse into the artistic process. We're heading up to one of the highest vineyards in the world for number 35. Bodega Colome. Situated in Salta's spectacular Calchaquí Valley in northwest Argentina, this mountain estate creates unique wines to match utterly unique experiences. It's a heavenly hideaway offering an escape from the rest of the world. Reaching the contemporary opulence of Bodega Colome after the dusty tracks that lead up to it is like stumbling on an oasis. Once within its walls, you are faced with the dilemma of just what to do first, with tasting, horse riding, swimming, and restaurant dining all on offer. Somewhere a bit closer now. Somewhere we're actually hosting the 2021 Top 50 announcement. And also, this year's highest vineyard in Germany, Schloss Johannisberg. The neoclassical palace of Schloss Johannisberg sits with suitable majesty atop the hill from which it takes its name. With over 1,200 years of recorded winemaking history, it is a beacon for travelling enophiles, who will find a veritable treasure trove within. And it's not just the historians and Riesling fans catered for here, but foodies and music lovers too. Thank you for hosting us, Stefan, and all the team at Schloss Johannisberg. We hope more people can visit you soon. From Germany to Japan, number 33 is Chateau Mercian Mariko Winery. The upper terrace of the Mariko Winery affords panoramic views of vineyards and volcanoes, but the inward perspective is just as captivating, with windows overlooking the production room and cellar, and rails running along the ceiling of the reception area to feed new wine into the tanks by gravity. Whatever the wine you are tasting, Chateau Mercian hopes to reflect the Japanese terroirs with purity and finesse. Another new entry on the list at number 32. Abadia Retuerta. Private tours of the estate transport you by 4x4 so that you can explore every nook, including the artworks dotted about. Elsewhere, try cycling, horse riding, stargazing through telescopes, and yoga. Recovery at the El Santuario Wellness and Spa includes a spa sommelier experience. Tailoring treatments to your needs through a guided tasting session of the estate's wines combined with the aromas of corresponding essential oils. Another familiar feature on the top 50 list, at number 31, D'Arenberg. Australia's very own Willy Wonka of wine has turned his family's McLaren Vale estate into a veritable extravaganza, with feasts for all the senses, just 45 minutes from Adelaide. Experiences at D'Arenberg are almost as flamboyant as winemaker Chester Osborne's wardrobe, an estate brimming with personality that nonetheless respects a 109-year heritage that places it among the country's prestigious first families of wine. To sunny Stellenbosch now for number 30. Delaire Graff Estate. Sitting on the elegant wooden terrace of the Delaire Graff Estate, sipping wine whilst basking in a vista that stretches from the famed Stellenbosch Vineyards out to Table Mountain and the Indian Ocean at False Bay, one feels rather like a film star. Delaire translates as from the sky, and the experience here, whether an afternoon taking a tutored tasting in the lounge or a full night spent being wined and dined, is suitably divine. We're crossing continents again for number 29, in Portugal, Quinta do Noval. Quinta do Noval's private tours and tastings ensure a thorough and exclusive introduction to the estate. You'll start in the all-important vineyard, all bestowed with Portugal's highest classification, Letter A, where a variety of soils, altitudes, and expositions impart distinctive characteristics into the different parcels of land. You'll then be led through the winery and cellars, witnessing the traditional stone lagares, and maybe even the treading of the grapes. From the Douro Valley to the Maipo Valley. At number 28, Vina Santa Rita. Founded in 1880, the Santa Rita winery is set amongst Renaissance-style gardens, offering a colourful sanctuary just 45 minutes from the Chilean capital, Santiago. One of the country's most distinguished estates and responsible for a huge proportion of its quality wines, the central colonial mansion now houses a boutique hotel, a base from which to explore the plethora of cultural gems on offer. At number 27, we're back in Portugal for another new entrant, Soieiro. The Soieiro estate has been modernised to make the winery as eco-friendly as possible and instigated an innovation room for thinking up fresh ideas. Private tastings take you through the entire portfolio of 16 wines, enjoyed on the terrace with panoramic views out over greenery grazed by cows and horses, producing wine, spirits, herbal teas, cured meats, organic vegetables, and more. A visit to the Soieiro is a total immersion in the delights of the Minho Valley. Making the short trip to Spain for number 26, Familia Torres, Pacs del Penedès. Visiting the Pacs del Penedès estate, just inland from Barcelona, is an education not only in rich vinous heritage, but on what the future of winemaking will look like too. The family's most iconic wines are aged in the subterranean cellars of the ecologically friendly Bodega Waltraud. Designed by architect Javier Barba, a legacy wine experience will allow you to taste some of these directly from the barrels, while soaking up the estate's 150-year past. We're hitting the halfway point in this year's list with something pretty special. This year's number 25 is amazingly unchanged from last year's 25, and the highest Australian vineyard on this year's list. Congratulations to Henschke. The Henschke family's Eden Valley estate is home to some of Australia's oldest and most cherished vineyards, including the fabled Hill of Grace and Mount Edelstone. Outstanding Shiraz and Rieslings are produced by the 5th and 6th generation of winemakers, with a focus on single-site expressions that tell the story of the land and the people that made them. With tastings personally hosted by the family, visits here are very special occasions. From Australia to Argentina, at number 24, El Enemigo Wines. You can begin your day at El Enemigo Wines, learning the story of the winery before exploring the orchards where most of the vegetables used at the restaurant Casa El Enemigo Vigil are grown. Casa Vigil offers some of the finest dining in the region, with 3, 7, and 9-course tasting menus paired with the full portfolio of El Enemigo wines. The spot is most atmospheric at sunset, when the light filters through the stained glass windows to dazzling effect. Now for the first ever Russian vineyard to feature on a World's Best Vineyards list. At number 23, Lefkadia Valley. Levkardia Valley was founded in 2007 by Mikhail Nikolev, who now runs the estate with his son, producing Bordeaux blends and single varietals, including the indigenous Russian Krasnostop grape, alongside oils, cheese, and more from the grounds encompassing gardens. An organic farm and outstanding valley views with fun for all the family. At number 22, we're visiting the only Austrian winery in this year's top 50 list, Domaine Wachau. Few wineries can claim to make such brilliant use of water as Domaine Wachau does of the River Danube. Prior to tastings, guests can choose from a host of water-based activities, including boat tours, private yacht hire, and stand-up paddleboarding classes. After such thirsty work, it's just as well that the winery produces quite so many cuvées and single vineyard wines to try once safely on dry land. Taking a trip back to Lebanon for number 21, Chateau Umsiat. Founded in 1950, Chateau Umsiat is run by fourth-generation winemaker Joseph Bou Sleeman and wife Cynthia. Having learned from his father, Victor, Joseph has gradually implemented his own techniques, updating the winery and championing his own blends whilst respecting the traditions that have for so long been in place. Tours are led by the family, with samples tasted right next to tanks, giving way to spectacular views across the valley. Number 20 takes us to the second Russian winery to feature on this year's top 50 list, Sikori Winery. Tours at the Sikori Winery take you up to the forests and mountains, to a bell-shaped chapel and observation deck, giving an overview of the land, then into the vineyards, including the finest terraced plots where the indigenous Krasnostop Zolovsky grape is grown. Warmer weather sees tastings conducted over picnics. In colder months, a cozy grill house warms guests with blankets and naked flames, whilst they enjoy grilled meats alongside the views. Back in Vino Verde now for another new entrant in at number 19. Quinta de Aveleda. When visiting, be sure to take all of the scenery in on a garden tour before enjoying lunch on the veranda, tasting Quinta de Aveleda's cheeses and wines together. You can taste renowned, classic, top-quality Vino Verde and even have a go at distilling the estate brandy. A day is easily whiled away here. This year's number 18 is last year's number 50, making this winery the 2021 highest climber, jumping a huge 32 places, Trapiche. Trapiche hosts vineyard and winery tours that incorporate a museum, expounding its biodynamic philosophy and the gardens supplying the Spazio Trapiche restaurant. Tasting menus are designed by chef Lucas Busto in collaboration with the chief winemaker, whilst his informal street food can be found at Estacion 83, a repurposed freight train carriage formerly used for transporting harvested grapes. Another climber at 17, up 10 places from last year. Clos Apauta. The curved wooden staves of Clos Apauta jut out of the rolling hillside like a barrel, merely hinting at the flurry of activity going on in the 7th-floor gravity-fed winery, carved 35 meters down into the rock below. There's plenty to see and do at Clos Apauta. An infinity pool and wellness program offset the more adventurous offerings, including vineyard tours on horseback, bike, or foot, with dining options including a gourmet picnic or restaurant feast. At number 16, we're visiting the 2021 highest-ranking vineyard in Portugal, Quinta do Crasto. The trapezoid infinity pool of Quinta do Crasto is cut high up into the Douro hillside, overlooking the river. Designed by Pritzker Prize-winning architect Eduardo Souta de Moura, its swimmers get to enjoy views of this UNESCO World Heritage region and its famously sloped vineyards from a height of 600 meters, followed by wine and tapas on its terrace, as if we weren't missing travel enough already. From the Douro River to Lake Wanaka, at number 15, Ripon. A warm welcome awaits every guest at Ripon, where tastings guide you through the full collection of wines. Although there is no permanent restaurant, local chefs take residence at pop-ups during the winter months and a magical event venue. The estate hosts classical and jazz concerts throughout the year and a highly anticipated annual ceilidh. 3 reasons to celebrate for the next winery on the list, as they are about to be named number 14 on the 2021 list. The highest new entrant, and the best vineyard in Asia. In southern Lebanon, Karam Wines.
Hello folks, how are you? My name is Habib Karam. I'm the winemaker in Karam Wines.
The winery is very much open for visitors keen to learn more about Lebanese viticulture and the passion behind Karam Wines through fun and interactive tours. Guests are actively encouraged to state what they are interested in hearing about so that information and tastings can be tailored accordingly. Typically, a brief history of the estate is followed by a walk through the winery and a tutored tasting of the full range of 12 wines. Congratulations to all the team at Karam Wines. We hope to visit you one day soon.
Karam Wines is the only winery in the southern part of Lebanon. We are in the area of Jizin, and we make one indigenous grape, which is the Me'sasi. Me'sasi is the indigenous grape of the area of Jizin on the southern part of Lebanon. I'd like to thank you all from the World's Best Vineyard. We thank you for the award because this award was very invigorating for us. I'd like to thank all those who voted for us and those who did not vote for us at the same time. At the moment here in Lebanon, we are in an economic war, we are in an economic siege. There's shortage of fuel, the currency is unstable, shortage of workers, and this has been the most difficult vinification season that I passed through in the last 30 years. Your award came at such a time. It was very invigorating for us. It helped us to regroup and to fight back in this very these very difficult times and this very difficult vinification season. Again, I would like to thank you, and we would like to host you guys one day after this coronavirus thing subsides. We'd like to invite you to this beautiful scenery here because we are situated in a very beautiful area. I'd like to host you one day here with us. Again and again, I say thank you.
Thank you.
From southern Lebanon to northeastern France. At number 13, Champagne Taittinger. A private tour of the cellars will lead you 18 meters underground via a spiral staircase. Walking through this UNESCO World Heritage Site, you'll see graffiti left along the walls by the soldiers and refugees who sought shelter here during the First World War, and you might also glimpse the Riddlers at work, performing the age-old practice whereby inverted bottles of champagne are incrementally rotated by hand to collect sediment in the neck of the bottle. From Champagne to Bordeaux, at number 12, Chateau Smith au Lafite. Its history dates back to the 14th century, but it is the past 30 years that are helping Chateau Smith au Lafite make a lasting mark. In 1990, the estate was bought by former French Olympic skier Daniel Catillard and his wife Florence, who have embraced biodynamic farming and turned this quintessential Bordeaux winery into a luxury destination. Joined in business by daughters Mathilde and Alice, it is truly a family affair at Chateau Smith au Lafite, and they will welcome you like one of their own. Time for another special award now. At number 11, we have the best vineyard in Australasia. This winery has featured 3 times on this list, but not won this accolade yet. Congratulations to Craggy Range.
We are incredibly honored to be named the best vineyard in Australasia for 2021.
Terry Peabody and his wife, Mary, travelled the world in search of the perfect spot to create a new winery, but the majesty of the New Zealand landscape stole their hearts. Nestled in the foothills of Te Mata Peak in Hawke's Bay, Craggy Range will steal your heart too. Established in 1998, it has already earned a reputation for precision winemaking, but it is the warmth of the welcome at this luxurious mountain idyll that makes it quite so special. Congratulations to the Craggy Range team.
Our mission as a family has always been to sit alongside the great wineries of the world. When I look at the list of wineries that have been historically included, it is incredibly humbling to be a part of it. While wine quality was always our ultimate focus, we are proud to have been able to build an immersive visitor experience that showcases our wine and our region. Like for all of you, COVID has presented us challenges, but it has also allowed us time to work on other projects. We continued our ambitious biodiversity project this year, seeing us plant 100 hectares of native trees throughout the vineyard, and expanded our community foundation, Children's Christmas. When things opened up here again in New Zealand, we were able to innovate a little bit and opened a wine bar in town, hopefully adding to the region's vibrant food and wine culture. A quick thank you to all of our staff, supporters, and of course the voters who have bestowed this award on us. Cheers to everyone, and congratulations to all the vineyards on this list.
At number 10, we have another special award. This time, it's the best vineyard in Africa, which goes to Creation.
My name is Winnie Bowman, and I'm the Academy Chair for the World's Best Vineyards for South Africa. Today we are in the beautiful Hemel and Ader Valley on the Hermanus coastline in South Africa, and it is my pleasure to hand over this award to Carolyn Martin, co-owner of Creation.
Swiss winemaker J.C. Martin and his South African wife Carolyn decided to build the Creation Estates from scratch, incorporating and highlighting its bounteous surroundings. The first harvest took place in 2006, and the couple's combined viticultural pedigree, combined with a thoroughly modern approach to farming, winemaking, and hospitality, has turned Creation into an unmissable destination. Congratulations to the Creation team on this amazing achievement.
We are so proud to be in Hemel and Ader Creation Wines, the whole team very excited about this award. And you know, it's a great honour for us to be one of the best vineyards in South Africa and to be one of the top 50 in the world.
And the Premier of the Western Cape, Mr. Alan Windy, will hand over the other award.
It is my absolute honour and privilege to hand Carolyn and Creation Wines this award, the best vineyard in Africa. And you know, as a proud South African, as the Premier of the Western Cape, and of course an African, I think this award is really amazing. This farm that you have been putting so much investment into, its people, its place, and the brand that you have built is just amazing. And I think this is an award that is so well deserved, and you make us all super proud that it's here, the Hemel and Ader Valley, on the global map, and the best vineyard in Africa. Congratulations.
Wonderful. Well, this is due to all of our stakeholders. So there's no doubt that all of our stakeholders have a massive influence in this. And that is our team, our suppliers, government, everybody in the industry. So I just want to say a huge thank you, and most of all to our customers who come to visit us. That's what makes Creation work. Thank you.
From South Africa to Spain, at number 9, González Bias, Bodegas Tío Pepe. For total immersion, Tío Pepe last year opened what may be the world's first sherry hotel in the heart of Old Town Jerez. Light, bright, and airy, the 150-year-old buildings were formerly cottages for the winery workers. Now, they comprise 27 bedrooms and suites decorated in clean, white lines with accented colours to contrast the old wooden beams on the ceilings. A stunning rooftop terrace with bar, restaurant and pool places guests amid the spires of Jerez Cathedral and Alcazar, with 3 dining areas, a gym and solarium. Continually climbing up the top 50 list each year so far. In at number 8, Vic Winery. On the crest of a hill overlooking expansive valleys and a lake, the Vic Winery Hotel's undulating titanium and bronze roof both contrasts and somehow befits the sweeping backdrop. This wilderness retreat comprises 22 themed suites, 7 glass-walled bungalows, 3 restaurants, an enviable contemporary art collection, a wine and, of course, the winery itself. But for all its grandeur, Vic's habitat remains its primary concern, ensuring they keep operations in harmony with the land. Staying in South America for number 7, Catena Zapata. Inspired by Mayan temples, the pyramid-shaped winery is an attraction in itself. But the estate also offers 3 types of tour. The Catena Pyramid Visit introduces you to the wines via the vineyards and the main barrel room. The Renaissance of Malbec Visit is a deep dive into the Catena Institute's vineyard work paired with wines, cheeses, and charcuterie. And the Adriana Grand Cru Visit guides you through the country's most famous vineyard before you taste wines from specific parcels of it directly from the barrels. Another winery making its way up the list each year. This year's highest vineyard in Italy, Antinori nel Chianti Classico. The Antinori nel Chianti Classico winery opened in 2012 after 7 years construction. Using locally sourced materials including wood, glass, terracotta, and Core-10 steel, it blends into the landscape both visually and environmentally. Surrounded by olive groves and oak trees, its roof covered in vineyards, the building appears as two graceful slits in the hillside. Within, gravity flow vinification and naturally cool cellars reduce energy consumption. From Chianti to Chile. At number 5 on the 2021 Top 50 list, Montes. Opened in 2004, the winery features gravitational technology, a sustainable ethos and feng shui design, using the philosophy's principles to find deeper union with its surroundings and, ultimately, wines. It highlights the elements of metal, wood, earth, fire, and water wherever possible. At Montes, everything's a bit otherworldly, with an overarching sense of calm and positivity. Number 4 this year takes us to the only winery from Uruguay to feature on this year's list, Bodega Garzón. The Bodega Garzón winery may only have opened in 2016, but it is already spearheading the Uruguayan wine scene. There is plenty to keep you entertained, from hiking and picnicking within the vineyards to horse riding and hot air ballooning. The Garzón Tajamres golf course is not only sprinkled with idyllic and challenging lakes, but it has been modified by Masters and US Open champion Ángel Cabrera for optimum play. Just 3 vineyards left to name on the World's Best Vineyards 2021 Top 50 list. At number 3 this year, in France, Chateau Margaux. The chateau is approached via an avenue lined with 100-year-old plane trees. Their imposing height is a fitting preparation for the villa's tall white columns, giving it a cathedral-like sense of space and grandiosity. Practically a village in itself, the 265-hectare estate encompasses the winery, a farm, and vineyards accounting for a third of the total area. You may have worked out we still have 2 special awards still to name this year, so without further ado, number 2 on this year's Top 50 list and the best vineyard in Europe. Bodegas de los Herederos del Marqués de Riscal. The twisted aluminium ribbon swayed over the Hotel Marqués de Riscal gleam in the Spanish sunlight. Their purple, gold and silver hues mirroring the wines and their bottles made in the bodega below. As well as this famous architecture, there are 2 restaurants for tasting menus and wine pairings, a wine bar, al fresco grill plus a Caux de Lis vino therapy spa. The vineyards themselves can be explored by foot, bike or horse, with golf and paddle tennis on offer as well.
In the name of Marqués de Riscal, we are very thankful for receiving this prize, this award, the Best Vineyard in Europe 2021, after 3 years of being included in the top list. For a family company, after 163 years of history, we are very proud to be there. Thank you very much.
For the final winery in the 2021 Top 50 list, we're flying back across the globe. The best vineyard in South America. And the best vineyard in the world. Zuccardi, Valle de Uco.
Hello, I am Julia Zuccardi, 3rd generation in the family, and I run the hospitality area of the winery. Now we are in Zuccardi Valle de Uco in Mendoza, Argentina.
Zuccardi Valle de Uco holds its title as the best vineyard in the world for the 3rd year in a row, proving what an outstanding experience a visit to the Mendoza winery truly is. From the architecture to the wines, every tiny detail has been thought out by the Zuccardi family. The scenery is as breathtaking as the high-altitude wines, and you mustn't leave without a meal at the Piedra Infinita Cocina, where you can enjoy a 4-course lunch of regional produce served with finesse. Floor-to-ceiling windows filling the room with the expansive, awe-inspiring landscape. A huge congratulations to Jose Alberto, Sebastian, Julia, and all the teams at Zuccardi Valle de Uco for this magnificent feat. We raise a glass to you and all the top 50 vineyards. Congratulations.
And it's my pleasure to introduce the first position for the top 50 this year for third year in a row to Familia Zuccardi.
Thank you very much. This is amazing. We're very happy to receive this again. We work hard. We have a beautiful country. We have a beautiful scenery. We have great people working with us. It is really a big honor to be recognized for 3 years in a row. I can't believe it.
It was a secret.
It was a secret. I'm still shocked. We'll make our best to honor this prize. It is very important for us, and we know we need to still work hard and make people have the best experience of their lives when they come to Argentina, when they visit Mendoza, and when they visit Zuccardi Valle de Uco. Thank you very much.
Wow, what a list. I'm sure that you will agree with me. That is an incredible list of wineries to put on your places to visit. And in case you didn't get a chance to write them all down, the list is of course on the website now, so you can look at the worldsbestvineyards.com, where you can even click through to explore and to start to plan your visit. From all the team at the World's Best Vineyards, the Deutsches Wine Institute, here at Schloss Johannesburg, we raise a glass to your success. Cheers.